Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi. How you doing? So this month I'm going to be focusing on African goddesses. This is for International Women's Day. That's going to be next week. So this whole month I'm just going to be focusing on goddesses and what we can learn from them. So this week I am focusing on Goddess Oshun, who is the goddess of balance, spirituality, fertility, and beauty. And so I'm going to be looking at 3 lessons that we can learn from her. The first one being power, what to do with your power. The second one being what to do with your strength. And the third one, navigating both the good and the bad energy within you. So without further ado, the first lesson on power. So legend has it that Goddess Oshun was brought with 16 other male Orishas by God Olodumare to try to revitalize Earth and bring about new energy and new life force. So the guys got to Earth and then went about their own way. They left the goddess to her own demise, and she was not part of the expedition. And there's a lot of stories about what happened in between, so I'm not going to go into that. But ultimately, the 16 guys failed, and they went back to God. And God was like, well, you're supposed to be working together as a team, and which is why the goddess was there in the first place, so that you guys can work together. So on their way back, they had to be working with goddess, and then she became one of the most powerful goddesses, which is why we know her to this day. What I wanted to bring about with that story was her knowing her strength. In all the different variations of the story, there is never a time where she goes to beg those guys to give her a chance to be part of the expedition. She doesn't do that. Matter of fact, there's a story that talks about she went back to God and was like, well, they don't want to involve me, so I'm just going to sit. And so that was her knowing her power, because when you don't know your power, you overextend, you overexert, go beg, go borrow, try to get people to love you, try to get people to be in your space. So Goddess Oshun never did that. She waited her turn, and then her turn was given to her, and that's how she became the most powerful goddess that we know today. So that was the first thing I wanted to say about the queen, that if you know your power internally, there's no need for you to try to show other people. You have to either wait for your turn to show your power, or be in spaces where that power is already appreciated. So don't go above and beyond. Stay in your power as a goddess. So that was the first lesson I wanted to talk about from her, which is knowing your power, staying in your power, and not extending your energy unnecessarily. The second one is strength. So upon them being on Earth, so everything was now going well. The world was being re-fertilized because now they worked with the female deity. They were human beings, and everybody was living la vida loca. And then the Orishas, the other 16 ones, were like, you know what, we're sick of God. We don't want to be part of his situation anyway. And then so they decided to turn against God. And then God was like, you know what, I'm going to shut this whole thing down. So God decreased the tap, closed it off, and so the world started suffering, and he didn't want to hear anything from the Orishas. And legend has it that it was Goddess Oshun who tried to reason with God. Well, not try to reason with God. She went on a pilgrimage to go see God, and on the way she turned herself into a peacock, and then went on a pilgrimage to go try to reason with God about, listen, not all of us are bad. If you try to stop the world from functioning, we're all going to be in demise. So she made the way to God. Apparently she got burned on the way, and eventually she made it to God with the bruises and everything, and God was very pleased with that. It was like, thank you, Queen, I'm going to open up the world. So so in terms of that, you need to know your strength, and you need to know when to act. The Queen, again, did not go speak to the Orishas because she knew they were not going to be able to reason the way she was reasoning. And she went to the source, which was God, Olodumare, and was like, God, this is what's happening. She risked her life, and she took the chance. And you need to know your strength. You need to know where to act. Do not act foolishly. And you need to know where the source is, that you follow that direction in order for you to realize what you want, instead of being part of the noise. And then the humanness of the goddess, what we can learn from her. Oftentimes when we talk about the goddesses, we don't talk about the human nature as well. And Goddess Oshun is depicted as having human qualities, like jealousy, like rage. She is known to flood the world when she is displeased and do all of these things that bring about destruction. And oftentimes when you learn about feminine energy and femininity and goddessness, we never taught to understand that we both have the evil and we both have the good. The only thing that we need to know is when to use the certain type of energy. So when she was not getting her way, or when people were turning against her, then she became this rage queen that brought about floods to the world, that made sure that there was destruction in order for her to have a way. So that means we should not be afraid to show out different aspects. Like, I am angry, I get angry, and when I'm angry, I'm in that energy. And when I'm happy, I'm happy. A lot of people try to run away from the different energies that exist within a human being, like rage, like jealousy, like vanity, and all of those things. So she is depicted as a full human being that had both the evil and both the good in her. So again, we learn a lot about power, knowing when to action and knowing how to action and waiting your turn. The second, we learn about strength, knowing where to place your energy. Don't fight the people on the streets. Go straight to the source and try to get your energy in that direction. And the third one, do not be afraid of the different elements and aspects that exist within you. I think that's what I wanted to say about Goddess Oshun. So I am doing this the whole month, and I can't wait for you guys to see the other episodes. Let me know what you think about this one, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. See you next week with another episode of Looks and Wisdom with Oluchi.